Good day. Welcome to our recorded discussion for the continuation of our lesson. To keep our learning going, let's continue with our topic through this setup, and I hope you're all doing well. I hope you'll pick up something new and meaningful from the concepts we'll be talking about because this time we'll be talking about the second travel of Rizal. Last time bahin man to sa first travel and first homecoming. So kani second travel na and second homecoming. But to do this, let's answer first this question. Why did Rizal decide to return to the Philippines in 1887 after spending several years in Europe? In simple terms, nganong niuli si Rizal? Unsay hinungdan? So there are four main reasons nganong niuli siya. First, to serve his fellow Filipinos, especially by using his medical skills to treat his mother's eyesight. Second, to help his townmates in Calamba who were suffering from injustices. Ganaan naman na sila na-encounter ang mga people in the Philippines, not just in Calamba, like land grabbing, higher taxes, higher rental fees, so on and so forth. And he missed his family and homeland. That's a third reason. And lastly, to witness the effect of Nole Me Tangere on the people kay 1887, di ba? That's the year na yang gipublish ang Nole Me Tangere, and he wants to check unsay effect, unsay resulta sa iyahang novel na gibuhat. Okay, mautong ni uli siya. Now, speaking of Noli Me Tangere, I think I was not able to mention this last time, but when did Rizal start writing the novel? If year 1887 na-publish, unsa din tuiga siya nag-start? So, the answer is 1884. So, let me give you the context. It was actually during atong kuan gani, banquet atong gionoran si Juan Luna and Felix Resurrection Hidalgo for their triumph sa National Exposition of Fine Arts. So ana nga time kana nga gathering nila. The gathering or the atmosphere was full of Filipino pride and patriotism. So it was in this same spirit that Rizal announced his idea of creating a book or novel that would depict the real conditions of the Philippines, like ang mga injustices, abuses, and hopes for reform. Actually, this is um, a collaborative project mo sa group output ba. Rizal proposed nga, sige, magbuhat ta ninyo kani nga libro, mao na itong buhaton. So, his idea was that each Filipino student or expatriate or member nila ba, itong grupuha, in Europe would write one chapter of the novel. However, wala siya na materialize kay na ito ka rason. Four, lack of commitment, busy sila. Third is fear of political consequences. And fourth, kay walay kwarta. So, many of his fellow students man or mga expatriates kay mayra sa sunudanan. Ang uban pod kay busy silang mga studies or personal goals. Ang uban pod kay hadlok sila nga kanang when writing openly against the friars or Spanish authorities might endanger their families nga naa sa Philippines. And lastly, wa po sila ikaamot, wa ika-chip in. Okay, so mao to, Rizal decided to take on the entire task himself. Murag leader ba, nga if wala mo buhat nga members, si leader na mo buhat tanan. Diba? So, may nahitabo. He began writing the novel in 1884. So, nahuman niya 1886 and na-publish pag 1887. Okay? So, that's it. Now, with that being said, we could say no nga ang pinakarason nga ni uli siya because of no limit ang here. And that is also the reason nga nung ipa force depart siya. So, ipalabay, not palabay, but kanang gi kama gipahawa or gipalakaw, like giforce. He was advised to go abroad, nagmobiya sa Philippines after niya og stay sa Calamba for 6 months, wherein namugna siya, nagtukod sa clinic og gym. Then he was advised to go home. Nga naman, unsay hinungdan? Actually, it was Governor General Emilio Terrero, who advised Jose Rizal to leave the Philippines. Mabitang forced departure. So therefore, it was not Rizal's intention or yahang kagustuhan nga mobiya. But he was advised by Governor General Terrero to leave Philippines his book because of the growing controversy and tension caused by the publication of Noli Me Tangere. Kay after man na-publish ang Noli Me Tangere, many friars and conservative officials sa Philippines kay nasuko because the novel exposed the abuses, hypocrisy, and corruption nila. So that's why si Rizal lagi bantayan na siya ba. Rizal began to be watched closely and accused of spreading subversive ideas na para nila mao'y hinungdan nga mo rebel, mag-revolt ang mga tao against Spain. So General Terrero on his perspective, or although para niya he doesn't he personally found no legal basis to arrest Rizal. Siya na gani na wala siya nakitang rason daw para arestuhin si Rizal. But he saw that the friars' hostility toward him was becoming dangerous. So delikado. So to protect Rizal's safety, mao to iyahang gi-advisean si Rizal to leave the country to avoid further conflict between the church and the state. Okay, so Rizal was advised to leave the Philippines for his own safety because the publication had provoked the anger of the Spanish friars and created serious political tension. Ma'am, ngano day if dili siya mobiya, ma'am, unsa day may tabo? So, if dili siya mobiya, although gi-advise na siya, there are a lot of serious things that could have happened. First, he could have been arrested or killed. So, they are very angry naman ang mga Spanish friars about his book, and they had great power and influence. So, they might have found a way to punish or silence him. Second, his family could have been in more danger. So automatic maamong iyang family and relatives. Third, iyahang reform movement might have ended early. So di jud niya mahuman, walay el filibusterismo, walay mga unsa pa na dirang chichiborich na iyahang mabuhat if wala pa sa nibiya. Dito niya kuan. Di siya maka-travel all around the world if wala pa sa nibiya. Okay? But if you may ask, ma'am, nga nung di ba makastop si Governor General Terrero, anay mga friars, nga mga pari raman na, nga siya, mura man siya presidente sa country, ana. Mura man siya kuan, highest rank official sa government, ani. So, Governor General Terrero couldn't stop their anger because the friars had enormous power. Okay, during that time, the friars were more powerful kaysa sa mga government officials. Lahi naman sa karon nga dili hilabot si state ngadto ni church, vice versa. The same thought sa una, but if imo jud siyang real talk no, mas powerful jud ang church ato nga time because they influence man the people, the courts, and even the Spanish government sa Philippines. So, what jud power si Terrero? And iyahang position was limited man, although he was the highest government official at that time. His authority depended man on Spain, so he had to avoid conflict with the kuan sa kaning church o sa kaning the church, between church and the state. So if he openly defended Rizalman, sorry for the background noise, it could have caused political trouble for him or trouble for him and his administration. So, kuan lang ba, murag kanang gununa na jud siya tarong. Although mao to iyang limitation, he could protect Rizal only temporarily. Mao jud to iyang mabuhat, muhatag og bodyguard and advice nga pahawa na anhi because the fire's anger was spreading fast and he couldn't control public or religious opinion. Okay? So that's the reason why. So in short no, si Rizal niuli sa Philippines because of Nole and then nibalik po siya Larga because of Nole again. Okay, so with that, let's talk about his force departure. It's around 3rd of February 1888. After all the controversies caused by Nolime Tangere, once again, he faced serious danger. And with that, he was forced to leave the Philippines for the second time. So he left Manila on a ship called Zafiro, bound for Hong Kong. So after 6 months niya pagstay sa Calamba, nibiya siya. The trip across China was rough, so the waves were strong and Rizal felt sad and seasick during the journey. So ang stopover ano nila kay sa may Amoy, China, known as Xiamen. So gani siya ninaog sa ship ani. He was not feeling well. The weather was bad and para niya hugaw ang lugar daw. So that's why he decided to stay on board waiting for the ship to continue its voyage. So anak na siya ninaog pag February 8, 1888 when they arrived in Hong Kong. So ang Hong Kong ang unang giadtuan jud ni Rizal because it was a British colony. Kung moingon tag British colony, therefore dili siya under sa Spanish control. So dili siya mabantayan, dili siya mahilaptan kay dili man mga Espanyol ang ga-colonize or nagkuan aning Hong Kong. So there were also many Filipinos man ani nga time nga napuyo sa Hong Kong and it served as a gateway for him for his future travels. So in Hong Kong, Rizal hoped to find a bit of peace, like a place to rest, reflect, and plan to his next move after the painful experiences he had back home. Okay, so although the country is under British colony, still na ay gabantay ni Rizal, which was Jose Veranda. He was a Spanish spy. Nagipadala nila sa Hong Kong to check on Rizal. But since si Rizal relax naman sa Hong Kong, so wala na kayo kisaw. Ipabantayan lang jud siya. Okay? And around 22nd of February, he sailed to Japan aboard the Oceanic. So, larga na siya sa Japan. From Hong Kong, niadto siya sa Japan. So, after leaving Hong Kong, Jose Rizal arrived in Yokohama, Japan on 28th of February 1888 and then nagstay siya sa Grand Hotel. The next day, ni-travel siya ngadto sa Tokyo, wherein nagstay siya sa Tokyo Hotel. Okay? And from the moment he arrived Tokyo, he actually had a deep impression, or Tokyo left a deep impression on him because the city was clean, peaceful, and full of life. So, not long after, si Juan Perez Caballero, the secretary of Spanish legations, visited him and invited him to stay at the Spanish legation. Mingatang legation, Spanish legation, was a branch, like a lower office sa kanang embassy. Diba, ang embassy is every country na amo na siya ay representative sa mga kuan like sa Philippines na embassy sa Philippines nga do sa US because ang embassy mao ay mag-represent or mao himong kuan ba kanang like tumbunganan or kanang motabang sa mga Filipinos nga nagstay ngadtong lugara. The same goes ani sa Japan na po Spanish embassy and ang ubos sa ambassador kay ang kaning secretary. Okay, so with that Juan Perez visited and invited him na magstay si Rizal sa Spanish legation. So si Rizal, bisag kibaw siya nga, kuan ni basig strategy na nis mga Espanyol para ma-monitor iyang activities. But still, iyang gi-accept bisag aware siya ato para daw to avoid suspicion and to maintain good relations. Okay? So, at first, si Rizal, he had a hard time adjusting in Japan. Okay? He struggled to communicate while shopping and even makatawan siya or kanang sungugon ba kay di siya ka-speak of Japanese. So with that, wala siya na-discourage. He actually took it as a challenge and started learning Japanese language. And yeah, bright man si Rizal, bright man siya. So di just siya nakuha jud niya na dayon ang language di man sa pareha nato. It will take months or years para tama proficient ani nga language. Okay? So, during his stay, Rizal visited museums, art galleries, libraries, shrines, and beautiful villages such as Meguro, Nikko, Hakone, and Miyoneshita. And then, studied siya og Japanese art, drama, music, and even judo. So, inga na siya kaka-productive. Ano nga time? Grabe kay iyang bakasyon galore. And one thing siguro that I could add on this is katong nigawa sa board exam nga question nga kinsa kuno ang classic composer matong nga nagplay nagplay ngadto sa may Tokyo wherein nadungog ni Rizal nga nagtugtog ato nga time nga nagsuri-suri siya nag-stroll siya sa park. So the answer was Johann Strauss. Mao na siya. He heard a Tokyo band playing a classical piece. Like, yeah, unsa nga to ka ba ang composer atong gi-play sa banda ngadto sa Tokyo nga park. Sorry. And it was Johann Strauss siya nag-compose atong kanta nga gipatugtog. And then na-amaze siya kay pindot ang tutukar. It's a Western music man. And surprise pa jud siya because ang mga nitugtog kini speak og Tagalog. So they turned out to be Filipino musicians. So matong na thrilled si Rizal pagka-meet nila in person. Okay? Rizal admired many things man about Japan. The cleanliness, the honesty, the politeness of people, the natural beauty of the country. And then, para niya, less na kuno kayo ang mga kawatan, mga manglimusay. No, sana all kayo. And he was impressed by the simple charm of Japanese woman, aray ko. So, mo ni siya nga time nga ani ang stay ni Rizal na kaila niya si Kuusoy or si Osisan. So we will not talk more about ani mga kachar-char ni Rizal no, yung mga fling-fling kaya I will create a separate lesson for this para makita niyo ang pattern ng mga kuan na to. Kaya if atong siya i-include na malumos na mo. Okay, continue. Then after ato the Spanish legation, si Caballero, later offered Rizal a good job in Japan. So it could have been an easy, comfortable life, but Rizal's love for his country and his mission to fight for reform in the Philippines were stronger than his personal desires. So marumalo jud sila, kamao jud ni mga Espanyol, okay? Ilaga na yung pabantayan jud si Rizal. Gi-offeran pa jud nila og nindot nga trabaho aron si Rizal magstay na lang sa Japan. Di na lang siya muuli. Kaya if muuli pa siya, matiwas to tanan. But wala man si Rizal, grabe mo kaniya higugma sa Philippines. So wala. Niya gidawat ang offer. Now, on 13th of April 1888, Rizal left Japan aboard the English steamer Belgic, bound for the United States. So next laag niya sa US na pod. So he was heartbroken to leave Char ay knowing na kuan ko no, di na siya kakita balik ni Usisan ug sa mga tao sa Japan, the beautiful country itself. Okay? Actually, Japan, I mean, there's a question again in board exam. Kung sa kuno nga country nga gi-visit ni Rizal na yan consider as the happiest periods of his life? The answer is Japan. Okay? Ano daw nga time nga it's a time of learning, peace, and love that he would remember forever. patay. So, remember daw niya forever. That's Japan. Okay, so we're done with Japan. Let's move on to United States. Sorry. So after visiting Japan, Jose Rizal decided to go to the United States to see what life was like in another part of the world. Especially no ang country nga, kaning United States, known for its freedom and progress, like liberal ang mga tao. So that's what they are promoting man sad. Based pa lang sa lang flag, mao man ang meaning. So when Rizal left Japan on 13th of April, he boarded a ship called Belgic. So on that ship, I think wala ko nabutang sa na day. Si yang na-meet si Ticho Suhiro. He is a Japanese journalist, novelist, and human rights activist. So, wala na siya gastay sa Japan kay mara siya gi-deport or giban. Kay ang Japanese government man dili ganahan sa iyang mga political sorry, ideas. Mao na siya sa United States. Pero kaila si Rizal sa iyaha because of his mga writings. So at first, Ticho didn't know anyone on the ship because he only spoke Japanese. So with that, nakanotice man si Rizal nga di siya kabaong makaistorya sa mga tao. So si Rizal ang nahimong kanang translator or interpreter. So motong nagkasuod silang duha. And during the long journey from Yokohama to San Francisco, USA, and later to New York and London, silang duha kay nakasuod jud og maayo. Okay, kay mag-share man sila silang mga experiences about Filipino suffering, under Spanish rule, the dream of being free in this country, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. Okay, and then nag-separate lang sila when they finally, they shook hands and separate themselves pag December ko ana 1, 1888. So that's um before pa ni transfer sila sa another country. But for now, focus ata sa US. Now, pag abot niya, that's April 28 niya naabot siya sa United States, specifically sa San Francisco. And one thing he noticed that surprised him is that even though America claimed to be a free and democratic country, iyang nakita nga ang mga tao kay mo discriminate. So, na ay racial discrimination daw. Like white Americans treated Chinese and black people unfairly. So this made him sad and disappointed because it went against the American belief in equality and freedom. So despite Anna, Rizal also saw many still na siya nakita ba nga mga good things about the country he admired, which is ang United States. Like kaning material progress, like advanced kay sila and modern, the energy and hard work sa mga tao. Third is beautiful landscapes and cities. Fourth, kay good living conditions and opportunities available for immigrants na ganahan magstay sa country. Mao ganahan siya. Mao na yung ika-admire sa United States. So he traveled across several states like Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Nebraska, and Illinois. And then on 13th of May, nabot siya sa New York, which he described as a fantastic city where everything seemed new and exciting. So while nagstay siya anhi sa New York, yang gi-visit ang mga landmarks such as kaning Brooklyn Bridge, the Statue of Liberty, and the George Washington's relics. So, ang Statue of Liberty is very significant sa iya ha, kay it's something that Rizal deeply admired kay it symbolizes freedom daw and hope na mao ihang gusto nga kuha na to mamit mamit sa mga Filipino people under Spanish rules. So after staying in America for about 18 days, he continued his journey to London. So na-transfer na po siya sa London. He left New York City on City of Rome bound for Europe. Kanang City of Rome mo ang sakyanan ha, mao ni pangalan sa sakyanan. So after his journey from Japan and the United States, Rizal decided to live in London on May 1880. 1988. So, he had three main reasons for choosing this city. Na itulo ka rason nganong sa kanang London man jud siya nagstay. First, to improve his English. Rizal already spoke several languages, but he wanted to become fluent in English since it was widely used in books and international communication. So he wanted to learn directly from native speakers and practice daily conversation. One yung first reason, London, English Malala language. Second, to study and annotate Morga's Successos de las Islas Filipinas or Antonio de Morga. Kaning ko ang Successos de las Islas Filipinas written by Dr. Antonio de Morga. He is actually a Spanish historian na napuyo sa Philippines in the year 1500s to 1600s. Ano siya, government official o historian nga nagstay sa Philippines. So ganahan si Rizal mo study siyang libro because it contained detailed records of the Philippines before pa naabot ang mga Espanyol. And he aimed to prove that Filipinos already had a rich civilization, culture, and governance before pa naabot ang mga Espanyol. This was his paagi ba, or young way of correcting the false image that the Spaniards tried to create. Kay ilang ginabutang adto kay we are uncivilized daw, we are uneducated, we are kanang ignorance. Ana. So, yeah, we wanted to correct the wrong and biased views that some Spanish writers had about Filipinos. And then nakabalita siya nga naa daw sa museum anhi sa London ang original copy sa book. So mautong ni anhi siya sa London. Okay? And yeah, the book is on pangalan sa kaning museum. Yeah, it's on the British Museum para yahan ni masadihan ang libro ba at man daw naka-keep. Third reason, to live safely away from Spanish attacks because at this point in his life, Rizal was already considered a threat by the Spanish government. To that yung nole. So staying in London gave him safety and peace, layo sa mga friars and Spanish officials who were watching him in Europe. So ano siya nagstay? Manon ang tulo ka rason. Okay, talking about his life in London. He arrived in London on May 25, 1888. So at first, he stayed with Dr. Maria Regidor, a Filipino lawyer who was exiled during the Spanish rule. Later on, ni-transfer siya, nag-rent siya ang room sa mga balay sa Beckett family. So, anhin niya nakaila si Gertrude Beckett na iya naka-char murag trial card ra pod ni niya. Okay? So, ang balay nilang Beckett is duol ra man gud sa British Museum. So, di ba, ganahan ba siya mag-study sa libro ni Morga. So, he needs an easy access para mag-stay while nag-study ato. So, it's a perfect location for him because the museum, again, had many old books, documents, and manuscripts about the Philippines. Ya dool pa jud ang balay. Ngadto nilang Beckett. Okay? So, moving on. So, while living in London, he actually became close to Dr. Reynold Rost, who worked at the British Museum. Mao na siya ang librarian and expert ni siya sa Malayan languages. Okay? Um, and after which, Dr. Reynold Rost, the librarian, was kung ganit, na-admire siya. Na-admire niya ang intelligence and character ni Rizal. And he even described him as a pearl of a man. And with that, he helped Rizal access valuable resources and recommended him to museum authorities. So, mato, nakasuod yun sila. Okay? So, speaking of Gertrude, it's one of the daughters named one of the daughters of Gertrude family. They actually developed a short love story. But kanang di na kay siya hisgutan basta ang nahitabo lang ani is kanang like si Rizal di siya like ganahan ang babae sa iya wala lang kagusto po si Rizal but wa siya nagpada sa gibati something ana. So we'll talk about that na lang in the future. For now, let's focus lang sa yang travel sa London. O yung pagstay sa London. So while staying in London, Rizal remained in contact with other Filipinos in Europe. So in September 1888, si Rizal traveled siya to Paris for a week to look for more historical materials in the Bibliothèque Nationale or the National Library for France. So during his stay, he visited Juan Luna, the famous Filipino painter, and his wife. So, mao na nga rin, visited Paris briefly. So, kadiyot ra kayo para lang atong libro. Then, pag December 1888, nibalik siya sa Spain to visit Madrid and Barcelona. And this is where na-meet niya ang main leaders of propaganda movement. So therefore, nahimo lang yung membro na appeal si Rizal sa propaganda movement ani nga time. Okay? It's Marcelo H. Del Pilar and Mariano Ponce. Naklaro na. So, bahalag. Nagbuhat na si Rizal atong nole whatsoever patong writings. Di pa siya part sa focal persons o mga kuan ba, core group ani propaganda movement. Kay mao pay pag-meet or da ka kuan ka-gather ani nilang tulo. So, in this gathering, they discussed the political situation in the Philippines and the ongoing fight for reforms, wherein si Rizal ni promise nga mo support siya by writing for the newspaper called La Solidaridad. So, that is where na-found or na-create ni nga grupo and elect si Rizal as honorary president. So, after his trip to Spain, balik na po si Rizal sa London. He returned to London on December 24 para mag-Pasko. Okay, mag-spend of Pasko, New Year together with Beckett family, wherein he enjoyed the Christmas celebrations because they reminded him of his childhood in Calamba and the spirit of Christ's birth. Okay, so during his time, Mrs. Beckett gave Rizal a book titled The Life and Adventures of Valentine Vaux, the ventriloquist, as a Christmas gift. So, moto ang gift niya nga na-receive. Moving on, before siya nag-transfer sa next location, while na siya sa London pa, Rizal contributed articles to, kanang, di ba si Rizal was elected as the honorary president ani nga time. And that is called, the Asociación La Solidaridad. It's a patriotic organization made up of Filipinos who were working for reforms in the Philippines. Okay, La Solidaridad. So it's a newspaper line ang La Solidaridad pero ang atong association mo atong asosasyon La Solidaridad mo na to ang grupo. So this group was connected to the newspaper. Okay, and newspaper aimed to educate Spaniards about the real situation in the Philippines and to call for equal rights and representation for Filipinos. So bali kanila Solidaridad na-publish lang sila og writings within Spain lang. Kung ilaha lang gipabasa, gipahibaw katong mga tao nga naa sa Spain, dili to naa sa Pilipinas. Okay, so Rizal contributed articles to this newspaper including Los Agricultores Filipinos or the Filipino Farmers. Muna yung pag March 25. Okay? Napay sa gipang buhat. He continued writing and inspire more Filipinos sayang kaan through La Solidaridad. But around May or March 19, 1889, Rizal left London to move to Paris. Di balik na po siya sa Paris. He felt sad to leave because he had many fond memories there, especially na ato sa Gertrude, yung research, yung peaceful life. Okay, so when Rizal arrived in Paris, the city was very busy because of the Universal Exposition of 1889. Mura sa kuan, World Fair na siya nga nag-display og mga latest inventions and achievements. Motong mura sa gisamukan kayo. The Eiffel Tower, designed by Alexander Eiffel, was the most popular attraction daw na iyahang na-notice anhi sa lugar. So, bisag kuan kayo, bisag crowded ang area, Rizal was somehow nakakuan siya ba, nakauyon sa gamay sa unsa ka alive ang lugar. Okay, so because of the large crowds, Rizal was having a hard time to find a place to stay. But although sa ingana siya, na experience, nakauyon ra gihapon siya. Right? And since, as I've said, he was having a hard time finding a place to stay, still, he was able to find a friend there, and that is Valentin Ventura, wherein Rizal temporarily lived or nag-stay. Okay, so next bullet. So while in Paris, Rizal continued his intellectual and patriotic work. He published his annotated version of Morga's book, which became an important contribution to Philippine history. Iba sa London, ato siya ga-study sa libro ni Antonio de Morga. But sa Paris, ano niya gi-publish iyang annotation wherein he founded a secret organization called RDLM, which stood for Redention de los Malayos, or Redemption of the Malays. So kaning grupuha, it aimed to spread useful knowledge in the Philippines para mo-promote og unity and dignity among the Malay race. Okay? So he also became a member of the International Association of Filipinologists, led by his close friend Dr. Ferdinand Blumentritt. Okay, and he continued to write more essays like The Indolence of the Filipinos and Por Telefono, and that criticizes the injustice done by some friars. And he even joined an art contest during the exposition but did not win. Still, he admired the event and progress of the world around him. So, mao na iyang mga kakulian sa Paris. Okay, so to reiterate, it's around December 1888. Nag-meet silang Rizal, nila Marcelo H. Del Pilar, and Mariano Ponce. Mga to na-create, mga to na, kuan ba, na member siya sa propaganda movement. So, December 24, wagpasko siya. And eventually, before pa ni-end ang month of December 31, December 31, speaking of which, um, 'di ba? He was elected honorary president ato sa check sa laing kuan slide. Honorary president sa Asociacion La Solidaridad, a Filipino organization nga nag-aim to unite Filipinos abroad and promote reforms in the Philippines. This vision became a reality when La Solidaridad, founded by Lopez Haina, kay na officially launched pag December 31. So it was established sa Barcelona pag 13 but na-launch siya pag 31. So mo to nahimo siyang contributors ani, and iyang first contribution is Los Agricultores. Okay? So he was really very productive atong time nga nasa sa London, but pag abot na niya sa Paris, um he was just continuing his essays and join international organizations like Kabuat sa atong the Indolence of the Filipinos, and at the same time, Rizal showed that his way of fighting for his country was through intelligence, research, and writing. So more on ko na kayo mga sutsuwat na ang ipambuhat ni Rizal while nagstay siya ani sa Paris. Okay? And one more thing, in the latter part of 1889, before tayo move on sa 1890, Rizal wrote a satirical work called The Macquarie, or in Spanish, katong dimension ako ganiha, The Por Telefono. which mock Father Salvador Font, the priest responsible for banning Noli Me Tangere. Mao na siya. And yeah, that's Paris. Next, let's move on to Brussels. In January 1890, Rizal moved to Brussels, Belgium. So Belgium na niya, lain na ni siya nga country with his friend Jose Albert and later lived with another Filipino, Jose Alejandro. He chose Brussels actually because life there was cheaper than Paris. So it allowed him ba to save money while nag-continue sa siyang work. So during his stay, he actually focused on writing his second novel, The El Filibusterismo, which was a sequel sa Nole. Then nag-contribute po siya mga articles sa La Solidaridad, mga reformist newspaper, as we all know, that fought for Filipinos' rights and equality, and then so on and so forth. So while nag-stay siya sa Brussels, he worked as a part-time in medical clinic. At the same time, joined sa mga local gymnasium for exercise and devoted most of his time to study and writing. However, while he was away, naa siya mga na-receive nga mga bad news. Like sa iyang hometown sa Calamba, wherein it was the people there was suffering from agrarian problems or problema ba sa ilahang pagsasaka. The Dominican friars actually ani nga time nga nag-own sa yuta raise their rent unfairly. Mas nitaas ang bayad silang rent. And when the tenants protested, they were evicted. So, nga na, kangilad lang batasan. So, Rizal's own family was forced out of their home and his brother, Pasiano, kay na-persecute, naharas pod, along with other townspeople, kay ni protesta man sila. So to make things worse, Rizal later learned nga some of his relatives and friends kay na-deport po sila or na-aresto ba. Daghan na ang mga nangadamay. So this event or this bad news caused him deep sorrow and guilt for not being there to help niya siya. Cannot travel lang. Nagpakuan ko lang. Char lang. Okay, so mo to. Now, in August 1890, let me check, nana siya ani sa Madrid. He returned to Madrid and kuan. This is in Madrid, nagkuan siya, ni uli siya para magprint na sa El Filibusterismo. He returned to Madrid, Spain, hoping to seek justice para sa mga tao nga naa sa Calamba. That is where na-meet niya ang sa Spanish official. He met a Spanish official dayon nag-write siya og letter or appeal letter ba to defend his kuan defend the rights sa mga tao nga nasa Kalamba, but all his efforts kay na fail because the government sided with the friars. So nagpadala siya og letter para sa Spanish officials ang sadyo niya personally nag-hand over, but gi basura ra or wala gi kuan ba tagan og tagad kay mas ni kuan sila ni side sila sa friars. Around the same time, Rizal experienced a personal heartbreak. He discovered that his longtime love, Leonor Rivera, had married an English engineer, which left him emotionally devastated. So we'll not dig deeper on that. Let's move on, okay? So while naa siya sa Madrid, si Rizal kay kuan ba na siya na-encounter nga mga disagreements with fellow Filipinos nga appeal sa propaganda. They argued over priorities and the best way to achieve change. So this conflict combined with his financial struggles and emotional pain kini add up na gani mag-build up na ba sorry. Di-build up na. So this made I mean it made him this period is one of the most difficult in his life. Speaking of kaning ilahang kaning disagreement, di ba naamtay duha ka division or faction nga natunga ang propaganda movement sa side ni Casiano o sa side ni Rizal. Ang gusto man gud ni Del Pilar kay iyang pamaagi sa reform is kana ganing binagsik gani I cannot describe it well. Basta lahi sila og means, lahi sila og kanang mga pamaagi. And then ang ka Rizal is kanang ihang ginabuhat mo o ihang gusto. Ang gusto ni Rizal manggod sa propaganda, ang gustong gud niya nga mahitabo is kanang naalan tayo representative sa Spain. Like dili ta ingong free na sila ha. Rizal did not mention nga ganahan siya nga kanang hawa na jud ang Spain completely sa tuwa dili man yang gusto lang is like sa mata ng batas ba pantay ta nga natay representative sa government nga dili lang puro Espanyol lang naa sa pwesto nga nang idea yang gusto but lahi pod ang kang Tempelar mo to nagka-conflict sila. Okay, they argued over priorities kung si mas ang ngay unang buhaton o mga best way to achieve their goal. So mo tong nagka-struggle na. So despite all that, Rizal was really determined to finish el filibusterismo. So mo tong nibiya siya sa Madrid pag 5th of July 1891 and then transfer siya sa Ghent, Belgium. So anha na siya nagprint sa El Filibusterismo. Ano siya sa Ghent kay mas cheap man ang printing anhi compared sa Madrid. But still, nagsuffer gyapon siya sa financial problems. Mautunid niya isang or pawn ba iya mga kanang jewels, yung mga personal belongings just to pay for the printing. May gani na siya dato nga Jumego or friend nga si Valentin Ventura nga maoy ni tabang sayaha sa publication maoy ni hatag saya og financial help. Okay, so motong Rizal was finally able to publish his novel in September 1891, The El Filibusterismo, dedicated to the martyred priests Gumborza, Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora, whose execution inspired many Filipinos to fight for reform and freedom. All right, this time let's move on to Hong Kong. So after finishing his novel, Rizal decided to leave Europe. So on October 18th, 1891, nibiya siya via Marseilles, France, aboard the ship Melbourne. So during this time, he even began drafting his third novel in Tagalog. Motong gititle nga Makamesa, but wala niya human. Ang kaning Makamesa unta mao na yung first Tagalog nga novel, which would focus more on the life and customs of the Filipino people. And then around 20th of November 1891, he arrived in Hong Kong and lived at number 5 D. Aguilar Street. There, he opened a successful ophthalmology clinic where he treated many patients, including his mother, whose eyesight had been failing. Hong Kong became a happy place for Rizal because his parents and siblings were able to join him there, and they celebrated a joyful Christmas together. That's the first time they had reunited after many years. So Rizal, di jud siya pwede mo nga time. Sa Hong Kong lang jud siya. Sa moto iyang mga kaliwat or iyang igsuon o parents na lang ani adjust ug miadto sa iyang ngadto sa Hong Kong. Okay? So, maybe you're wondering, Ma'am, ingon nag-struggle si og kwarta, yung ano nakakuan pa man sa clinic. Nag-struggle si Riza, but it doesn't mean wala siya source of income, nga wala jud sa kwarta nga zero balance na jud nga magkit-kit na sa ko. Kuan lang ba, tight lang ay hang budget ba, dili enough. Okay? But it doesn't mean wala siya kwarta. Naman ay hang parents, naman ay mga igsoon or kaliwat, mga friends. So, it doesn't mean di siya ka kuan og tabang. Okay? So while naa siya sa Hong Kong, Rizal also became more active in planning for the Philippines' future. He drafted the Constitution for La Liga Filipina. So mao ni ayang organization nga iyang gibuhat. He envisioned to unite Filipinos and work for peaceful reform through cooperation and mutual aid. So nagplano pa siya while naa siya sa Hong Kong. Okay, nag-draft siya sa Constitution sa La Liga Filipina. And then, let's move on. Let's talk about the second homecoming. On the 26th of June 1892, Rizal finally returned to the Philippines with his sister Lucia. So muna ni nga time, katong gimension nako last time ba nga si Lucia hapit siya like katong naay nakit-an nga letters or leaflets sa iyahang bag and ka Rizal Lauto. Ay nga na. So, muna ni siya nga time, gikan sila sa Hong Kong. They stayed at the Hotel de Oriente in Manila. The next day, he visited friends and met with Governor General Eugenio Dispohol, who at first seemed open to hearing his reform ideas. So, on July 3rd, 1892, Rizal officially founded La Liga Filipina in Tondo. So, the organization aimed the reason yan nagibuhat because yang gusto is ma-promote a unity and mutual protection. Murag brotherhood agad gihapon, mutual protection and support ingana. But ilang goal is reform, peaceful reform among Filipinos, hoping to improve society without the need for violence or rebellion. However, diba, nabuhutan niya pag July 3. Rizal's growing popularity and his new organization alarmed the Spanish friars and colonial authorities. Kay pag-abot bago baga abot nabuhat na din sa ingani nga grupo-grupo like pabibo kay ba no. So mootong nakugang nakuan ang mga kanang friars and authorities. So they accused him of being connected to subversive leaflets found in Manila that called for revolution. Okay? Uwing tag subversive leaflets kanang mga mga flyers ba. When he returned in Manila in 1892, the Spanish friars were already suspicious man sa iyaha because of his writing. But after he founded La Liga Filipina, some anonymous mga printed leaflets began spreading around Manila. So these papers criticized the wealth, corruption, and hypocrisy of the friars, accusing them bahin sa pag-exploit nila sa Filipino people while pretending to live in property and holiness. Like kanang pagka-plastic ba, kanang pagka arong ingnon nga pobre sila or holy sila. Motong ilang point out sa leaflet. Okay, mao ning gitawag nga pobres frailes, which means poor friars, which is very kuan ba kanang paas if kayo nga pobre sila and holy kay sila, but ang tinuod ay kay dato sila, corrupt sila, so on and so forth. So it was written in Tagalog and satirically described how friars became rich and powerful by taking advantage sa mga Filipinos. So, rebellious kayo or anti-church ba ang mga leaflet. Pero si Rizal ang na-blame. Bisag wa siya labot ani. He did not write or distribute the leaflets himself, but the friars accused him of being the author because, again, maupay pag-abot niya gikan sa Manila and nabuhat siya sa La Liga Filipina, wherein ang goal sa La Liga Filipina is to awaken national unity and mutual protection and peaceful reform. Okay? So, muna ang first rason. Kaduha, iha mga novels already criticized the friar. So, wala sila laing makita nga pwedeng i-blame kundi si Rizal. Kaya naanay duha ka libro nag-publish nga nagdaot sa inyo ha. Like for example, good ka nang kuhiton kasi mga classmates sa loyo. So, wala ka laing ma-blame mo. Katong imong classmate nga ni kuhit na yung una. Bisag ani kuhit mo kay lain tao. The same idea. Okay? So, they assumed he continued his attacks through anay mga leaflets. The copies of the leaflets were allegedly found in areas connected to his friends and supporters. So, allegedly. So, di yun tinuod. So, these suspicions gave the friars the perfect excuse to silence him. And mauto ang rason nga nang na-convince nila si Governor General Eugenio Dispohol that Rizal was behind the propaganda. So as a result, Rizal was arrested on July 6, 1892, only 3 days after niya na found or after founding La Liga Filipina. Okay? So, mao to siya. So, as a result, July 6, 1892, Rizal was arrested and imprisoned. Dayon, in Fort Santiago. His arrest marked the beginning of his exile to Dapitan in Mindanao, where he would continue to serve his country in peaceful ways through education, science, and community development. So that's the second homecoming of Rizal. If you have questions or clarifications, i-chat lang or i-take note lang lista sa diha ato ng hisgutan pohon. That's it and goodbye.